Have you ever had so many emotions within you that you don't really know how to react to a certain moment, and the only natural answer feels like to cry and let it all out? Well, that happened to me once. This is the story of how and why it happened. When I was 14 years old, after a year and a half of training Jiu-Jitsu, I qualified for a state tournament, which I won. And at the time where I was getting my first place medal, when I was at the top of the podium, receiving a gold medal around my neck in front of my family, friends, my coaches, and my teammates, and several strangers, I couldn't feel anything but a strange feeling of sadness. And that feeling of sadness intensified where my coach took out of his pocket an orange collar belt that he put around my waist. That only signified that I had spent several months, a year and a half, training hard for that belt, and that just means that I put effort into it and that I deserved the recognition. That should have been the height of my happiness at that time. Spending a lot of time training hard and having it pay off with a gold medal and a belt promotion, I should have been happy and sharing that moment with my friends and family, but I did not feel that way. I broke down and cried for half an hour. There were tears of joy, but also tears of sadness. Why? The first reason why is my self-concept at the time. You see, growing up as a middle child made me develop this self-concept of me being the lesser version of my older brother. All those interactions that I had with him winning a board game, a race, a wrestling match, whatnot, made me develop a self-concept of being inferior to him. That combined with my attitude of being competitive and recall myself and make myself lesser whenever I lost to a better opponent, made my self-concept of being in the shade of my brother even bigger. If you combine with that the fact that I'm not really great at self-disclosure, I'm not reciprocal, you might tell me a big secret of yours and I might not tell a big secret of mine. That made me keep those feelings of inadequacy and feeling like a lesser version of him inside me. I never shared those feelings. And I also never share and never learn how to accept success and share with other people. If you combine that feeling of being the lesser version, getting destroyed by winning a state level tournament and winning a orange belt, that self-concept of myself got removed. For the first time, I did not feel like a lesser version of my brother. And I felt like I wanted to share that feeling with everybody around me. But I couldn't because I did not know how. I never learned how to self-disclose. I never practiced that. And what ended up happening is that one of my happiest moments that I should have been proud of became somewhat of a shameful memory where I could only break down and cry in front of everybody, including the strangers. And what does this story teaches me and should teach the audience? Well, first of all, that your self-concept can be shattered by your actions. I always felt like a loser compared to my brother, and after training and winning that state level tournament, I no longer felt like a loser. And second of all, and most important, is that you should learn how to express your emotions properly. I did never learn how to do it at that time, and that costed me one of my fondest memories to turn into something shameful. That costed me that memory. That costed me being able to save face and look great in front of my family and my friends, and instead I just looked like a crybaby, or what I thought I looked like a crybaby. In retrospective, I might have looked humble or whatnot in front of their eyes. But the entire point of it is that me not being able to self-disclose to people around me made me bottle up all my emotions and just break down and cry into tears. And that shouldn't happen to you. You should be able to express what you're feeling and how you're feeling it. Otherwise, you could turn your fondest memory into a shameful memory that you might end up remembering and telling in front of everybody as a cautionary tale for your project like I'm doing right now. And that is my personal narrative.